start where you thought you were gonna be so productive and you think it's gonna look like this, only in reality to have it more end up like this? The good news is you are definitely not alone. And the even better news is there are ways that you can combat this to really actually having that productive day that you're looking for. That's that, yeah, okay. Carol Dweck is a famous American psychologist who focuses on just this, around growth and fixed mindset. Actually, in the 1970s, she conducted a series of experiments on children and their responses to challenges. She found that some children were more likely to embrace challenges and view failure as an opportunity to learn, while other children were more likely to give up easily and view failure as a reflection of their own abilities. So how does this happen? At such a young age, how are some children already viewing failure as a way to grow while others are viewing it as they're stuck, they're in this place? Well, she labeled these two mindsets, which I'm sure a lot of us are now familiar with, which is fixed mindset and growth mindset. Now, the good news is, through her studies and research over the years, she actually found that the way your mindset works, your fixed mindset, can be changed with certain interventions. And that's what we're going to cover today, ways that you can actually build habits to keep you motivated and focused. Because a lot of times we like to sum it up as, oh, it must be just the work isn't that interesting. But usually there's a lot more going on related to it. Okay, that's great and all, but we need to get into actual tangible takeaways here. Now, something that I used to do, and I'm not gonna lie, it failed me every single time, was, you have those days where you wake up and you just do not feel like working. Please tell me I'm not alone. Those days I'd often suppress my emotions, push them down and just say, Tiff, you need to be as productive as possible or you are a failure. Oftentimes what this would do is, because I wasn't taking into account my emotions or how I was feeling that day, and instead pushing them down and turning on, you need to be as productive as possible, and labeling myself as a failure if I didn't do everything on my checklist, which, by the way, was never ending. In turn, I would get so overwhelmed and so frustrated with myself that I ended up being like this version. Actually, in a journal published by Personality and Social Psychology, researchers found that people who were able to identify and embrace their emotions were more likely to be motivated and engaged in their work. And you're probably saying, well, that's great, Tiff. Okay, I won't suppress my emotions, but how do I work then if I feel like not working? One of the biggest habits that you can create when you wake up and you're feeling not that motivated is to, first of all, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that, hey, I'm not feeling super productive today. Then what I will do is I will actually go look at my calendar of what needs to get done, prioritize it, but also keep in mind, is there anything that I can do tomorrow? Be kind and gentle to yourself. Work in ebbs and flows. You're not a robot. You're not going to wake up every single day feeling the most motivated possible and like you can work the hardest or focus the most. Every day looks a little bit different. And when you can structure your work days around how you are feeling, and I know it sounds kind of sappy, we're talking about feelings here, but it is so true. For example, if you wake up and you need to do a really difficult technical task, but you're really not feeling motivated, look at the backlog of things you need to do. And I am sure there are things on there that maybe are less mentally taxing on you that you can focus on for that day. It's unrealistic to try and get everything done at the same pace every single day. And rather than trying to do that and in turn burning out or just resenting your work, go with ebbs and flows. Acknowledge how you are feeling, because there are going to be so many days where you do feel like taking on those more difficult tasks that you really need to be motivated and productive for. No one is going to like hearing my next tip, and I understand why, which is keeping a clean or tidy workspace. Now you might be saying, yeah, Tiff, that's easy for you to do because you have an office, a space to work out of. I work out of my kitchen. I work out of my living room with kids running around just screaming. Whatever the case may be, I'm acknowledging that everyone's work environment is extremely different and it's challenging, and that's why I included it on the list. If it was super easy and everyone was doing it, it wouldn't need to be on this list. Essentially, at the end of the day, one of the biggest things about having a place where you can focus and having a workspace to focus isn't about the size or the grandness of it, but tidy up a little space. I've seen a lot of friends of mine actually who are in the situation where they're working from home and there's a lot going on and they don't have the space to do it. What they will do is actually make a little corner for themselves, designate a corner, and put in a little desk. Maybe you buy it off Amazon, maybe you buy it off of wherever it is, and just Own that space, that this is where you are working. The one rule is though, when you are not working, do not go in that space. Even if it's, a corner or a little side of your kitchen table, whatever the case is, only sit there, only go there when you are working. What this will do is it will naturally or subconsciously tell your brain that when you are sitting there, you are to be focused. Now, this isn't a perfect cure-all, but it definitely, for me anyways, I've seen it significantly help. My office, I do not go to do any work on the weekends. The doors are literally closed to the office all weekend long. I don't go in here to watch, things on my laptop or journal or anything like that. It's completely off limits, and it's very intentional, because then when I do go in on Monday, I'm like, okay, my body is ready to work, my mind's ready to work, and it knows what to do in this space. Another thing that really helps you find that motivation when you're trying to focus is actually creativity. Now, don't give me the tip, I'm not that creative. A study that was published in the Journal of Positive Psychology, researchers found that people who engaged in creative activities were more likely to feel motivated and engaged in their work. This isn't just stuff we're making up here, this is science. For me, what I will do is if I'm feeling very unmotivated and can't focus, I'll actually just go for a walk, listen to a podcast. Creativity can come in so many different forms that it doesn't necessarily have to be you are an artist and wanting to paint this gorgeous picture, or you need to journal, although journaling is a huge creative outlet and I highly recommend it. But there are so many different forms. Essentially, take a break and do something for yourself. And this will really help break up your day. Also too, it will help reset your mind. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Going through that, a lot of times it isn't the work itself killing your motivation, it's the habits or mindsets that you are doing or not implementing. I hope this video was very helpful and insightful. These are takeaways that I use in my everyday life, and they really help me be able to focus and be motivated for much longer extended periods of time. If you haven't already, leave any questions down in the comments, hit that subscribe button, that like button, all the buttons, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.